Hello, Namaste and welcome all. Shikara Academy is bringing you a successor talk series wherein the focus is to introduce you to the recent successes in UPSC civil services, talk to them about their preparation journey and also about their training at Labasna, the National Police Academy, and their experience now as a bureaucrat. We are beginning the series with Rahul Reddy, who cracked the civil service exam in 2019. He wrote the 2019 exam. He belongs to the 2020 batch. He got 117, All India 117 rank, and it was his sixth attempt. Also, I should say it is a privilege for me because we have been closely associated for many years. And one of the in his close circles, I am one of those people who are happy about his success because he struggled a lot. So let's know about his journey, his 6 attempts journey, and his struggle to get this 117 rank. Today, he's posted as an IAS officer in Andhra Pradesh. He's from the Andhra Pradesh cadre. Welcome, Rahul.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for inviting me to the show.
Thank you so much for taking time out.
Yeah.
Firstly, congratulations. I know I must have said congrats so many times, but on air, congratulations on your massive success because 6 attempts and 6th attempt you scored 170.
Thank you so much, ma'am. In fact, I'm very happy to be associated with Shikara Academy for the last 4 years. And I'm very happy to come here and speak out my heart to Deepika, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Rahul, what was your first reaction when you saw your rank in the paper?
Ma'am, to be frank, I was standing in a queue in MRO office to get permission for my marriage. So it was a paradox that I was trying for this exam, get into service for almost 8 years. That too, I got a rank when I was standing in government office. So it was a wonderful feeling and I could not express it. It was a long cherished dream for me. And I felt it that this is the time where I should enjoy and there are no words which I can express my feeling completely.
You come from a very humble background, Rahul. You come from a background of agriculturalists, not a very well-to-do family, and you have supported all yourself financially also through the journey.
Yes.
So tell us something about your family background because you know there are many aspirants out there who got educated in normal institutions who belong to families like yours and aspiring to crack civil services. So what was your journey like?
Yes, ma'am. As you said, ma'am, I am from agriculture background. Both my parents are farmers. I have 2 siblings. One of the siblings works as teacher and another sibling is also a farmer. So basically coming from a rural background and especially from agricultural family, it always motivates me to do something for the rural society and farmers in fact. Even though I got my education from Vidya Mandir School, Kadapa, the headquarter, I always claim that I'm from rural background because my parents stay there. My entire roots go to the village, Nandi Mandalam, which is in Kadapa district. So I have, throughout my journey since childhood days, I experienced many problems faced by farmers and rural people in general. So this is a constant motivation for me throughout my preparation days, almost 7-8 years. I used to, whenever I am down, I used to motivate myself about my background. I used to get motivation from my background. So this is one thing which, in fact, many people coming from rural areas nowadays. In fact, UPSC has conducted some survey that it is telling that many people are now from rural background, almost 40-45%. This is maybe my story can be a motivation for many such people. And second thing, ma'am, I've been into teaching also, as you know, which always motivates me to prepare well for this exam and to teach for students who are actually preparing for this exam in the right way. So that is the second source of my motivation. And the third thing is my friends and family members who constantly supported me. In fact, there are many friends who always call me when I am depressed and all. They spend some time with me. This is how I kept myself motivated. And the last source of motivation is, ma'am, first attempt onwards till my last attempt, I constantly improved my score. And I definitely thought that one day I'm going to crack this exam. In fact, I made many mistakes. I've learned from those mistakes, which was a source of motivation for me, ma'am.
So, as Rahul says, one important thing is whenever you taste failure, you have to take it as a success, your stepping stone for success. Many a time students miss out this important fact that they have to introspect. They have to see where they are going wrong. They have to identify their mistakes, work on them, consciously work on them and move ahead. I think that is one very important suggestion. So all students who have not cleared, who had, 1, 2, 3 failed attempts, please do not get depressed. You just have to look at your preparation, motivate yourself and move forward. Introspection is very, very, very important for this exam. You were not just preparing, Rahul, you were also working.
Yes, ma'am.
And there are many people who are working as well as preparing.
Yes,
Out of compulsion, they have to work because of their family situation. And they always have this question that how do I manage my work and my preparation? So what would be your suggestion? Though you worked in the same field, but otherwise also you have many software employees preparing for the exam and all. What do you think should be their strategy? I mean, what suggestion would you give out of your own experience? How to balance?
Yes, ma'am. To be frank, balance is a very difficult task to be. In fact, I was preparing for this exam and simultaneously teaching for civil service aspirants. I got the luxury to be in the same direction and inclined to the preparation. But in fact, many students keep asking this question: how should I balance? That's a difficult task and it's a personal choice. Maybe leaving the job is one choice, which one has to take based on calculative decisions, based on the economic background they're coming from.
Correct.
If they could support themselves and their immediate dependents, they could at any day leave the job, maybe 10 months or 1 year prior to mains examination. That's a bet they have to take for their preparation. And the second thing is simultaneously preparing and then working till the mains and all. It's a very difficult task, because given the kind of competition which we are in the UPSC preparation, it's very difficult to do both the things. I definitely suggest people take a very calculated decision. If you can keep yourself economically well, so take that call of leaving the job for at least 6 to 7 months before mains examination. That is one thing. Or if you're not economically sound enough, take a help from your friend or some well-wisher who can definitely extend a helping hand for you. That will always be a support for you as well. So look for sources, ma'am. Look for sources and take a call. And some people may be talented, they can do the job and preparation simultaneously. They know well about themselves. That's a personal choice, as I said. So it's a very tricky question, ma'am. I can't say yes or no question, yes or no answer for that.
So basically what he's saying is not just your preparation should be planned if you're working, your finances also should be planned. It's very important to plan your financials because you need the freedom to focus completely on your exam. So if you can plan your finances where you can go on for a leave for 3-4 months or take a break from your job and completely focus on mains. But all this will come out of the confidence you gain in your preparation. It's very, very important to prepare properly, prepare strategically, be in control of your preparation. Only then you will get the confidence to go ahead. You should be able to take a decisive call. Okay, now I can take a break. I have enough cushion. I can focus on my preparation and leave my job for some time.
Ma'am, if I can add to one point, as I was working in Shikara, I used to teach, as even ma'am, sir also must be knowing, I used to teach till May, till my prelims examination. I used to teach almost 3 to 4 hours a day and earn some amount of money which can be helpful for my mains preparation. This way I could pull up some resources for almost 5 to 6 months. I used to teach 4-5 hours a day, pull some resources, and immediately after my prelims examination, I used to take a break for almost 4-5 months for my mains preparation. The resources which I pulled, I used for my test series especially, and staying in Delhi for the last attempt. So this way one has to make a well-balanced decision to be economically strong, because ultimately your mind should be free enough. You can't be dependent on your family or friends for a longer period of time. So some or the other day you have to think about these sources so that your mind is free and completely dedicate your sources for preparation.
Right. Now, where did this thought of becoming a bureaucrat first, where was the seed sown?
Yes, ma'am. As I already said, ma'am, in fact, my life experience of brought up in a rural area. So my preparation days for MSET, I was preparing for MSET, AEEE, IIT. I could not get through into IITs. I've got a seat in SV University, Tirupati. So during my first and second year of preparation, that is my 1-2, I got a feel that why can't I prepare for civil services? In fact, the route I can say is my school itself. because my school, the director, the ex-officio director was the district collector who used to come to annual program every year and give prizes for the toppers. Luckily, I was a topper for my school, and there was a seed which was sown there. So when I got some free time thinking about my future during my BTech days, my first year, I thought that why can't I give a chance to civil services. In fact, the seed was sown by my school, and second, I can say is my grandfather, who always cherishes to be a bureaucrat. He was a ration shop dealer. He used to go to MRO office, Tahsildar office, the RDO's office for paying on DDs and all. So this way he used to tell me that you should become a collector someday or the other. So that words constantly pushed me in my BTech days, and that was a seed, which became the source of my motivation.
So students, please remember, it is not important to have a bureaucratic background, because there is an illusion that if you come from a bureaucratic background, you have an additional advantage, and that's where the seed is sown. As he said, I'm very sure none of his family members, as far as I know, are into government services. He is the first generation officer from his family. So motivation can be from anywhere, from within, from around, from the environment. Now, 6 attempts is a very long time, yes, Rahul, and yes, I know personally also there were times you were feeling low, there were times you were feeling demotivated. How did you motivate yourself through this journey? What made you not give up on your preparation?
Yes, ma'am. As I said, no one should, in fact, I wish no one should take this long time to get into UPSC. If UPSC is prepared in a very planned manner, it can be cracked. Luck also plays a matter, second or third attempt at max. But for me, I have constantly made some mistakes. I've learned from those mistakes, and luckily I got through in my last attempt, 6th attempt. One of the basic source of motivation is my background now. As I told that I come from a rural area, I live in a rural area. So my farmers, my parents who are farmers, they are my source of motivation. And second thing is, as I said, I constantly improve my score in UPSC. I told to myself that I'm a product, I'm a bureaucrat product, because I feel myself that I can do better service. So this was a constant source of motivation for me. Third is my teaching. In fact, I constantly motivated that I should teach well, I should prepare well for this exam, and help many aspirants who are preparing along with me. This teaching itself has been a source of motivation. Whenever I am depressed, I used to talk to students, I used to clear their doubts. That was a source of motivation. My life is my motivation, to be frank, and in a very short way.
You have cracked the exam, and when you went to Labasna, not many of you know that there is something called as mess committee president. So Rahul had fought the elections for the mess committee president, and I'm proud to say that he actually won the elections. It's considered to be a very coveted position during your training time. So tell us about your experiences. First, tell us about the elections for the mess committee president. Yes, why is it so important, and yes, how was your experience as a mess committee president?
Yes, before answering that, I'll take a freedom to answer why I have, in fact, first contested this election. Basically, coming from a rural background, tied to town, and continuously preparing for 8 years, sitting in a small room. Basically, I lost that kind of socializing now. So even in my foundation course, there were many people who tend to socialize more. I was in a cocoon then. Almost 90 days I was in a cocoon. I was shy enough to talk to other people in the service. So then I decided after my foundation course that this is not the way training should be happening. And President of Mess Committee is one of the most important job, because it deals with dining aspect of officers. The officers mess carries some prestige, where every officer is supposed to carry some etiquette. He should be properly dressed in formals. There is etiquette to eat in the mess, and it is where people gather, social gatherings happen, birthday celebrations happen. So it's kind of socializing, a platform for socializing. No? So for me, I myself challenged myself that why can't I socialize with my friends, have network with most of the officers. So I taught myself and taken the help of the previous PMC, who was Pratik Bayal sir, 2019 batch. I have spoken with him, I have spoken with Sandeep, who is from Telangana again, and he was the mess committee president during foundation course. I talked to them and they said, this is one job which needs constant work throughout the day. Immediately after my classes, we should go to mess, check the quality of food. Every week we should give the menus and all. And in fact, the PMC has a privilege to sit with the director, to sit with the governor also. Whenever a governor is visiting or whenever a dignitary is visiting the officers' mess, he has that privilege to dine with them. Even the Prime Minister, when he visits the officer mess, the PMC should sit beside him and actually take that courtesy. So this way, it motivated me that I should socialize, I should come out of this cocoon. So on contested elections, in fact, 180 officers go for elections. During my training, 2 officers, one is Farman, has contested election. Luckily, he is from AP cadre now, and I am also from AP cadre. He also contested election, and based on the campaigning, just like political campaigning, we also do some campaigning and give our manifesto that what all the reforms we are going to do for the next 3 months of phase 1 training. So based on the manifesto, officers take a call that we should select so and so person. It was really very, very interesting, ma'am, working as the president of mess committee. And even before coming to district, I got to know the nuances of administration, how to manage around 120 people in the mess, how to stitch a menu which suits both North and South Indian palate. So that way I got some administrative nuances in the mess, officers mess itself. Very luckily, I got very supportive director, who is Sanjeev Chopra sir, and then our councillor, Vijay sir. So both of them supported a lot and have conducted lots of competitions, like cooking competition, like we have a rating competition. In fact, we have taken some measures to reduce the mess bill as well. So that was a very successful tenure as a president of mess committee.
Okay. Now, from the answer you have given, I have a question in my mind. You said you are a very shy person, and I know that you are a very shy person. How did you face the UPSC interview? You have gone for interview, if I'm not wrong, 3 times.
Twice.
2 times. So how did you face the UPSC interview? You're a very shy person. What was going on in your mind before you went to the board? How did you handle the interview, and what was your experience with the interview?
Yes, ma'am. To be frank, only after my first encounter with the UPSC board, I could know better about myself. In fact, first time when I went to interview after my 5th attempt, I was not completely prepared mentally. The kind of, I can say, not very polished person. I went there thinking that my hard work, maybe I can give very good answers and then I can clear this exam. But after going there, it's not just about content. You should express in a very polite manner, confidently, in a very smiling, cheerful face. That was lacking in my first attempt. Manoj Soni sir was the chairman of the board. I know that I have not done well, and sir also gave the kind of marks which were not expected. So after that first encounter with the UPSC board, I've taken some time, I've taken a break and then prepared for my 6th attempt. Immediately after my mains, the last attempt, I have taken lots of sessions, lots of practice. In fact, because I know my personality, that I'm not a person who is more expressive in nature, who is not more confident at that time, because it's my last attempt as well. So I've spent lots of time, and luckily I got some break also because of COVID. My interview got postponed. I got a good amount of almost 5 months of time to prepare for interview. I used to sit before mirror. I used to talk to myself. In fact, my wife Shruti also helped me to take some mock interviews like this. So this helped me to work on my body language, my face expressions, to be confident enough. I have worked on my DAF also, detailed application form. This time I've carefully filled my DAF also, after lots of thought process. So this has helped me. It was, in fact, entire process came together now. Filling the DAF, COVID has given me a break to prepare for my interview. So 5 months of preparation was sufficient to present myself as a confident person. It was a challenging task, ma'am. As you said, preparing for UPSC interview is not just an interview, it's a personality test. So my personality has improved a lot after my 2nd interview. I've spent much time on my language, my expression, my confidence levels, knowing more about myself, my hobbies and all. So I presented myself to the board, and board was happy also, and I got 179 marks, which are decent enough to
That's very good actually. 179 is a very decent mark. So, this is again an important lesson for all of us. Your background does not matter. It is about if a person is determined enough to work on himself, he can do wonders. And this is one wonder which is sitting with us and discussing right now. Now, post your training, you have joined the services in your home state. How is it to be in your home state as an officer?
Very luckily, I got my home cadre that year. Till 117 rank, there were only 2 IAS officers, 76 Surya Teja and me 117. There were 2 insider vacancies. That was in fact, as I said, hard work but the luck favors the brave heart. So my hard work has paid off, and luck also has favored me. So 2 vacancies were there for insiders. I got into insider thing, and that was very happy moment for me. We were celebrating Lohri at Academy, January 13th, in fact, this 1 year. So our course coordinator, Gauri ma'am, has called me and said, Rahul, sir is coming to Lohri festival, and by the way, in 10-15 minutes your cadre also will be out.
Okay.
And we were waiting for our cadre allocations and all. And after seeing that, I was very happy, thinking that I can work for my state. In fact, state is a very tough situation after bifurcation. So it is an opportunity for us because we are starting from scratch. So that is a wonderful opportunity, and lots of government welfare schemes have been started by the government of Andhra Pradesh. So one of the important aspect is the Sachivalayam system. So I got an opportunity to to know something about the Sachivalayam system and the secretariat system in Andhra Pradesh. So I was very happy, ma'am. I was very lucky. In fact, more than me, my parents were very happy. My father told that not after getting into rank, now he is very happy because now I can work for my entire life in Andhra Pradesh cadre. I was very happy. My mom was also, in fact, she never expresses her happiness expressively, but that time she told that we are happy that you will be in AP. And my brothers, my wife also, they were very happy, ma'am.
Nothing like working in your home cadre, but again, everything depends on how you score, and luck also should favor you. IAS is considered to be a very glamorous service. How glamorous is it? Your 1.5 year experience, your training, is it really glamorous? And there is a lot of, should I call it a myth or a misconception, but people think that only till the cracking the exam you have to work hard. After that it's all aaram ki zindagi. So what do you have to say about all this?
Ma'am, it's all about the perspective, ma'am. Actually, I have seen my entire batch. So people take this service in a different ways. Some take it as glamorous, some take it as a responsible. Most of them take it as responsible because they have worked hard for this service. Because for outsiders it's a glamorous post, but for insider, as an IAS officer, as a person posted in some cadre, it's a more responsibility than glamour. Maybe for outside people take this person is coming, he's an IAS officer, he's more dynamic and all. But interior or inside, we know that there is lots of responsibility. Each and every action we do or each and every word we speak is in fact judged by people. So therefore we should be very cautious. And we should be dynamic also, dynamic in terms of knowing the technologies, being aware of the current affairs. Immediately after UPSC, cracking the UPSC, we have a tendency that we should not read newspaper, keeping away ourselves from all these newspaper, current affairs, but we should be updated about the current affairs. And also, ma'am, people respect IAS. That's there in the society, ma'am. Again, it depends on the cadre which we go. People respect the IAS. It's not because of the glamour associated with it. It is because of the responsibility associated with it. I can share one moment, ma'am. When I went to one of the village in West Godavari district, Kukunur Mandal, there was a village. I visited there during my flood preparations. I visited there. It was on the banks of Godavari. People said, sir, every year people come here, every IAS officer come here. We want the package to be given as early as possible. Then I said it will be given. I talked to them in a more emotionally intelligent way because the preparation which we have done will be helpful in such situations. They said, sir, everyone come here, but no one solves the problems. Now there is a problem for us. There is a low voltage in our village. No one is solving this problem. So that's a problem thrown to me. Immediately I have responded, called to see SC, Superintendent Engineer. Next day by evening, the problem has been solved. It's not because of me, it's because of the institution of IAS. People give lots of respect, district officials give lots of respect. Whenever we take some problem to them, that will be solved immediately. So that kind of respect itself is what IAS is getting in the society, and it's our responsibility to carry it forward.
So you mean to say that as long as you carry your responsibility properly, you will earn that respect?
You will earn that respect, yes.
Correct. Now, Rahul, many people are preparing, lakhs of people are preparing, and COVID has played a havoc with people's lives, time and everything. There is a lot of pressure on the students who are preparing now.
Yes,
I specifically am asking this question to you because you know the nitty-gritties of preparation, and you also know where they fail and what is the practical way of approach. So what tips would you give? 4-5 important tips which you think are very, very essential for an aspirant to keep in mind to face the challenges. I mean, especially during this time, COVID time, and otherwise also keeping in mind the competition, the exam,
Yes.
the uncertainty of success and all. What tips would you give to them?
Yes, ma'am. The first thing, ma'am, because we are in a very uncertain world, lots of pressure on the students. So one first suggestion would be my suggestion would be to keep everything in a balanced manner. So whether it is preparation or your relaxation, whatever it may be the case, whether you take a run or a jog or a yoga or a movie. So balance both these things, personal life and preparation. Preparation is not the end. Preparation is a means to achieve something. So if you can remember this idea that preparation or UPSC is a task which you need to crack in the next maybe 1-2 years. If you are completely aware of this situation, entire your schedule will be tilted or inclined in that direction. So professional life, that means preparation life, as well as the personal life should be balanced, ma'am. Personally, I used to go for Indira Park for a walk, or maybe weekend movie with friends, or maybe on Netflix or Amazon will relax me. So spend some time for yourself with your friends, especially in these situations. And that's what I'm telling, don't be too extremes. You should not take extremes, you should be balanced here. Second thing is, ma'am, if you are very clear that you should crack this exam, knowing what is required for this exam is very, very important. UPSC is conducting, that's what constitutional body is conducting the exam without any fail, despite of COVID. So that was the seriousness with which the UPSC is preparing for conducting the exam. The same level of preparedness, if you can have, we can definitely crack this exam. For this, we need proper plan, proper strategy. Say for example, making notes is very, very important. No? In fact, one of the biggest mistakes I've done during my first 3-4 attempts is lack of proper notes. So if you can make notes every day, maybe 1 page or 2 page, whichever is important, whichever is covered in the syllabus. So based on syllabus, if you can make proper notes and consolidate these notes properly, whenever is UPSC is conducting exam, you will come out with flying colors. That's what preparing notes is very, very important. In this dilemma, in this confusion, what people generally do is they generally tend to read a lot. Instead of reading a lot, it is better to write, think them, read them and revise them. That is what I suggest for aspirants. Third thing is writing practice. Constantly keep on reading something or maybe by hearting something is not what UPSC wants. UPSC wants those people who can express their knowledge or content in a very simple, straightforward manner, maybe using some diagram or maybe using some anecdote. In fact, essays, I see that there are lots of anecdotes through which you can write this year essays also. So writing helps a lot, ma'am. Not only about UPSC, maybe you can write about yourself, maybe a movie if you have watched after a long time, you can write about movie. It's about writing and keeping your pen running. So that way you can get that expressive skills, encounter more number of questions, either it is prelims or mains. I used to write at least 1 hour a day during my mains preparation or even before that also. That helped me to get some confidence about myself, know what UPSC is expecting, and I used to share these answers to some of the mentors. They used to give some suggestions. This way I kept motivated myself and continued my preparation even during COVID times. So that is a third point. Fourth point, ma'am, give more focus on optional and select such optional which is more enjoyable. Even during COVID times, as I was preparing for my personality test, I enjoyed political science, reading about current affairs, international relations. So if you can spend good amount of your time on the optional, that will be very interesting, because the option which you're choosing is you're writing answers out of heart, not out of mind. If you can write very expressive answers, very enjoyable answers, definitely you will get very good marks. For that you need proper strategy. So focus on optional. And third thing, ma'am, whatever current affairs you are reading, see some ethics angle in it. So that way you can yourself motivated and also prepare for UPSC simultaneously. So these are some basic tips, ma'am. I'm not very comprehensive now, but I can definitely say have a balanced preparation life, because most of the bachelors, they must be spending some time away from the families in a COVID pandemic. It's very difficult to be motivated, but there are lots of sources for you to get motivated, whether it is friends or a movie or a morning walk or a yoga. Have proper notes, revise them properly multiple times, and keep practicing answer writing. One thing which I am getting nowadays is, ma'am, students are not getting a connection to this, not getting inclined towards answer writing. If you can write good answers, if you can practice a lot, you can write very good answers given the time pressure. No? So because UPSC wants people who actually thinks a lot. As you said, even essay, this year essay is all about thinking. So keep thinking whichever concept you get, whichever current affair you get, keep thinking how UPSC can frame this or how I can take opinion on this. By thinking a lot, you can write better answers.
So basically, UPSC is not looking at reading aspirants. Please remember, you should be a thinking aspirant. Application of knowledge is very important. Don't make yourself a dump yard of knowledge, of information, because that is not going to help you in any way. Please keep thinking. Whatever you are reading, you think, you apply, have to understand where you're going to use this. And notes making is very, very important. Something we have emphasized many a times in my classes. Any serious teacher would tell you that note making is essential, because as far as I understand, and Rahul should also agree, I think with this, there is no shortcut for this exam.
Yes,
you have to put in the effort that is required. Unless you put in that effort, it's not easy. Rahul, now that you have already started your work, you're still in training, your probation period is not over. Where do you see yourself 10 years down the lane, 15 years down the lane? What do you think you would accomplish in life? Any specific goal that you've set for yourself?
No specific goal as such, ma'am. Whichever responsibility I get into, my idea to dedicate or complete the responsibility 100%. So in fact, I have spoken with many seniors after coming into service. What they said is, you can't plan anything in the service. Maybe you plan for working in agriculture sector, but government may give you irrigation sector. So we should open up to the opportunities, and whichever opportunity is coming to your way, give it 100% and get that network of good friends and officers throughout the country. Take their help and assistance so that you get models from all over the country, all over the world also, and work for the task which is given to you. For example, my personal choice is to work for rural development and agriculture and education in rural areas. But I can't say that I'll work only in these areas. Given the responsibility, I'll work in whichever sector government is giving me. So I'm looking forward to my sub-collectorship, ma'am. That's one of the wonderful on-field or on-ground post which an IAS officer cherishes a lot. In fact, most of the senior officers of the cadre, they keep on saying that sub-collectorship is very, very important, because it is where your innovation comes in. Because you are fresh into the service, it is where your innovation, your energy comes into picture. So I'm looking forward to my sub-collectorship.
Okay. మనము తెలుగు మాట్లాడకపోతే చాలా మంది ఫీల్ అవుతారు. సో తెలుగులో కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతాను. రూరల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ నుండి వచ్చినాం రాహుల్. చాలా మందికి నాకు తెలిసి మంచి స్కూల్ అయినా కూడా ఇంగ్లీష్ మీద బాగా ఎంఫసిస్ ఉన్న స్కూల్ కాకపోవచ్చు. లాంగ్వేజ్ ఒక పెద్ద బ్యారియర్ తెలుగు మన వాళ్ళకి ఏమనిపిస్తుంది అంటే, నేను ఇంగ్లీష్ అసలు పిక్ చేయగలుగుతానా, ఈజీ అవుతుందా, నేను ఎట్లా ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వాలి? ఆ లాంగ్వేజ్ బ్యారియర్ ప్రాబ్లం నీకు కూడా ఉండిందా? ఉంటే హౌ డిడ్ యూ ఎట్లా హ్యాండిల్ చేశారు?
నా ఇంటర్వ్యూ చూస్తేనే అర్థమవుతుందా. ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ it's 8 years I have taken some time to speak like this. ఇలా మాట్లాడడానికి నాకు 8 ఏళ్ళు పట్టింది. అదే ఫస్ట్ అటెంప్ట్ సెకండ్ అటెంప్ట్ చదువుతున్న పిల్లలకి, టైర్ 1 టైర్ 2 అలా టౌన్స్ నుంచి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళకి కొంచెం ఇంగ్లీష్ మీద గ్రిప్ రావడానికి చాలా టైం పడుతుంది. ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ అదే కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ని దెబ్బతీస్తుంది మనకు ఒకసారి. సో మై స్ట్రాటజీ వాజ్ టు బి కాన్ఫిడెంట్ గా ఉండటం. మన బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ మీద మనకు కంప్లీట్ అవగాహన ఉండాలి. మనం ఎలాంటి బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ నుంచి వచ్చాము, మనం ఆ లెవెల్కి రీచ్ అవ్వాలి అంటే ఎలాంటి హార్డ్ వర్క్ పెట్టాలి. నాట్ ఓన్లీ లాంగ్వేజ్ బట్ ఆల్సో అవర్ బాడీ లాంగ్వేజ్. ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ బికాస్ లాంగ్వేజ్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ అవర్ బాడీ లాంగ్వేజ్ ఆల్సో. మనం పుట్టి పెరిగిన వాతావరణం మన మీద చాలా చాలా ఇంపాక్ట్ ఉంటుంది. అది చెడ్డదని కాదు, తెలియక కొన్ని మనం లో కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ వల్ల ఉంటాం. బికాస్ కమింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ రూరల్ ఏరియా, పల్లె వాతావరణం నుంచి వచ్చిన తర్వాత అందరినీ బాగా చదువుకున్న ఢిల్లీ యూనివర్సిటీ, జేఎన్యూ, పెద్ద పెద్ద యూనివర్సిటీస్లో చదువుకున్న వాళ్ళని ఎన్కౌంటర్ చేసినప్పుడు వాళ్ళు మంచి లాంగ్వేజ్లో ఫ్లూయెంట్గా మాట్లాడుతుంటారు. అప్పుడు మనకు ఖచ్చితంగా మన కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ లెవెల్స్ ఖచ్చితంగా తగ్గుతాయి. కానీ తగినంత మాత్రాన మనం తక్కువ అని కాదు, దాని మీద వర్క్ చేసుకుంటూ ఆ లెవెల్కి రీచ్ అవ్వగలిగితే చాలా బాగుంటుంది. దానికి ఖచ్చితంగా ఎఫర్ట్ అయితే పెట్టాలి. ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ నేను హిందూ పేపర్లో ప్రతి వర్డ్ని తీసుకొని దాన్ని ఎలా వాడచ్చు, దాని మీనింగ్ ఏంటి అని కాన్స్టెంట్ గా బీటెక్ నుంచి వర్క్ చేసుకుంటూ రావడం వల్ల ఇంతవరకు వచ్చింది మేడం. అందరికీ అంత టైం లగ్జరీ ఉండకపోవచ్చు, బట్ డెఫినెట్ గా మీరు కానీ మీ లూప్ హోల్స్ ని కానీ ఖచ్చితంగా త్వరగా రియలైజ్ చేసుకొని వర్క్ చేసినట్లయితే ఖచ్చితంగా కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ లెవెల్ పెరుగుతారు మేడం. సో లాంగ్వేజ్ ఈజ్ వన్ వేర్ ఐ స్పెసిఫిక్లీ అడ్వైజ్ ఆస్పిరెంట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ రూరల్ ఏరియాస్. ఖచ్చితంగా మీ లాంగ్వేజ్ మీద మీరు పట్టు సాధించండి. అండ్ అది డిఫికల్ట్ ఏం కాదు, ఇట్స్ అ వెరీ ఈజీ టాస్క్. మీరు చేయాల్సిందల్లా మీ ఏ సిచ్యువేషన్ లో ఉన్నారు, ఏ పొజిషన్ లో ఉన్నారు, ఏ పొజిషన్కి వెళ్ళాలి అది తెలుసుకుంటే మాత్రం ఖచ్చితంగా గోల్ అయితే రీచ్ అవ్వచ్చు మేడం. అండ్ ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ యూపీఎస్సీ ఆల్సో ఎంకరేజింగ్ పీపుల్ టు టేక్ ఎగ్జామ్ ఇన్ లోకల్ లాంగ్వేజెస్. తెలుగులో మీరు కాంపిటెంట్ అయితే తెలుగులో కూడా ఎగ్జామ్ ఇవ్వచ్చు, తెలుగులో కూడా ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఇవ్వచ్చు. దాంట్లో తప్పేం లేదు. మార్క్స్ తక్కువ వస్తాయని అపోహలు చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉన్నాయి, అలాంటిదేం లేదు. యూపీఎస్సీ వాన్స్ డైవర్సిటీ. సో డైవర్సిటీని ఎంకరేజ్ చేయడం కోసం లోకల్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ లో కూడా ఇవ్వచ్చు. లేదు మీరు ఇంగ్లీష్ లోనే ఇవ్వాలి అనుకుంటే ఇంగ్లీష్ మీద కొంచెం వర్క్ చేయండి. మేబీ ఐ కెన్ సే మీ రూమ్మేట్ ఎవరన్నా ఉంటే అతనితో ఇంగ్లీష్ లో మాట్లాడండి, ఇంగ్లీష్ లో డిస్కస్ చేయండి. ఆ విధంగా ఇంగ్లీష్ మీద పట్టు సాధించవచ్చు.
ఇంగ్లీష్ లో మాట్లాడడం, డిస్కస్ చేయడంతో పాటు ఇంగ్లీష్ లో ఆలోచించడం చాలా ముఖ్యం. ఎందుకంటే చాలా మంది ఏం చేస్తారంటే తెలుగులో ఆలోచించి ఇంగ్లీష్ లో చెప్తారు, అక్కడ గ్రామాటికల్ మిస్టేక్స్ అవుతాయి. ఎప్పుడైనా మీరు ఒక లాంగ్వేజ్ నేర్చుకోవాలంటే అదే లాంగ్వేజ్ లో ఆలోచించడం చాలా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్.